Welcome to the channel. It's Clay here. Today we're going to be planting potatoes, red potatoes. It's January the 25th and it's a little early to plant potatoes, but my uncle is a farmer. He's been a farmer his whole life. That's his career. He's the best farmer I know. And I bet you his potatoes are already in the ground, so I'm going to go ahead and plant mine today. We're going to try to plant maybe one row. We'll see how far these go. I think I got 15 pounds of seed potatoes that I've cut up. And they've been cut up for about 3 days, so they're ready to go in the ground. So let's get to plant 15 pounds of seed potatoes. And we are going to cut them up and let them set for a few days. Look at there, they're starting to sprout. It's best if you cut these sweet potatoes up and let them set for a few days and form a scab over them before you plant them. But you can, I have cut them the same day and planted them, and they make just fine. That's called the eyes. Every dimple you see on that potato is what's called an eye, and a sprout will come out, a plant will come out of every one of those dimples on a potato. And you can cut these potatoes, you can plant them whole. I've seen people plant them whole. I've never planted them whole. You can cut them in half. I've seen people cut them in half. You can cut them in thirds, but you've got to have an eye on every piece or it won't grow nothing. I try to have 2 or 3 eyes on every piece. If I can get 2 or 3 eyes, I'll cut 3 or 4 pieces or 5 pieces out of a potato. I remember when I was young, I watched my mama and my granny, they would cut potatoes up. And they would cut them kind of thin around the edges, leave enough meat on them and they would grow. They would save the middle of the potatoes and they would cook them and we'd eat seed potatoes. That was many, many years ago. Pretty sweet, I keep calling them sweet potatoes, pretty seed potatoes. These are red potatoes. See how there's a bunch of eyes on that end? Just like that. That'll make a nice. Whenever you can get them fresh, young potatoes, you can take them out there to the water hose and squirt water on them and the skin comes off. Throw them in some water and boil them with some salt. Man, they hard to beat. I'll show you some this year. How we do it. I'll take you out there and show you how I feel around the bottom of the roots and find some potatoes and pull them out without killing the heel. We'll have those some early potatoes. There they are. Cut up. We're gonna let them, you could cut them up smaller than that if you was trying to make more plants, but I didn't cut these up smaller. Some of these got way more eyes than they need to make a good plant. I probably could have cut that one in half and had 2 more hills, but this is how I'm planting them this year with plenty of eyes on them. This is what the potatoes look like after they have set for about 3 days. Since they've been cut, they have calloused over. Now that'll keep the moisture in once they callus over like that. So we're gonna go out and plant these things. They're ready to go in the dirt. my rows straight, so I use this little short piece of PVC. You can use a stick or something if you want to keep your rows straight. Some people might not need to do this. They can keep them straight without this, and I use some string. So let's put our pipes in the ground, run our string, and then we're gonna make a fur. Plant my potatoes about 4 to 6 inches deep, so we're gonna dig this fur right under this string to keep our rows straight. Your fur don't have to be real deep because we're gonna pile dirt on top of it to make a bed. We got our fur made. Now we're gonna put fertilizer in it. I'm gonna be using this Super Rainbow 10-10-10. This is some good fertilizer. This is expensive. You can use 5-10-15 or regular 10-10-10 or other fertilizer, but this is what I use. It works really good. Super Rainbow 10-10-10. Let's put some in the dirt. Get it in our trench. We got our Super Rainbow 10-10-10. Let's put it in this trench. And this is not all the fertilizer it takes to grow these potatoes, but whenever they start growing, we'll add fertilizer to them. Got our fertilizer in. Now what I do is mix it in. Use my little tool with the forks on it, just mix this fertilizer in. So my potato seed is not sitting right on the fertilizer. That right there is the eye of the potato. Those eyes have got to be pointing up. Eyes up. They don't have an eye on them, they won't grow up with the plant. You got to have an eye on them. We got that many left. Out of 15 pounds, that was pretty good. Guesstimating on how long the road need to be. Got them in the ground. They're around 8 inches apart, I guess. Somewhere around that. Some of them might be a little farther apart. Now we're gonna cover them up. And I make a heel when I cover my potatoes up. And once they sprout up, get about 6 inches tall or so, I'll put more dirt to them. That's what it looks like once I got the bed made. And it's gonna rain. This is a pretty tall bed, but it's gonna rain and pack it down and we'll build it back up. See, but it's supposed to rain today is why I wanted to go ahead and get these in the ground. January the 25th, we got taters in the ground. They're gonna be good when it's time to eat them. Well, I'm done planting these potatoes. This is about a 70-foot row. I stepped it off 24 steps. And I planted about 12 or 13 pounds of potatoes. I bought 15 pounds. I didn't get them all in. But my daughter, my oldest daughter, she wants to plant a small garden at her house. So I'm going to take these to her house. We're going to plant them. Be her first garden. I'm tickled to death that she wants to grow a garden. And these times that we're facing now, it's good to have a garden in your backyard. We're going to see how much stuff we can grow this year here in this little garden. I don't have that big of a garden spot. I could have a big one, but the deer and rabbits, I have to fight them every year. They like to eat this stuff too. But anyhow, that's how I plant Irish potatoes. It took me about 1 hour to plant this 70-foot row. And it's good exercise. It makes me feel good to get out here in the garden and do some stuff. But if you do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, share these videos. I'll catch you in the next one.